products and you're spending money on skincare products, but not seeing the right results, it could be that you're laying them wrong. So we're going to fix that today. So while I jump into my skincare routine for today, let's chat about the correct order to apply skincare products because that could be a big reason why you're not seeing the maximum results from your skincare routine. All right, so I just completed my wash, my cleanser, which for me, I use the CeraVe skincare cleanser hydrating. I have a lot of I have a really dry skin. And so the hydrating cleanser is something that I use religiously. And it is just a really good product for me. If you do have oily skin, the hydrating cleanser may not be the best one, but they do have a foaming cleanser. And what I really like about the CeraVe line, especially with the cleansers, really, is that it doesn't strip your skin when you're using these products. And that could be one of the biggest issues when you're using cleansers that are stripping the natural oils and leaving you feeling tight, then it's a no go. You should probably not be using that. So I just finished the cleanser. And what I wanted to talk really is about the right order of putting on skincare products. Because if you're not putting on your skincare products properly, then honestly, you're wasting money and time and energy on products that are really could be working, but because you're layering them incorrectly or just putting them on in the wrong layer, then you feel the frustration, you'd stop using the product, although the product might be something that's really good for you. So if you're joining me now, my name is Ayana Peterson, and on this channel, we talk about having a luxe lifestyle on a budget. And for me, a luxe lifestyle includes our skincare routine, but not having to spend a lot of money when we do this. Okay? All right. So the second layer for me is my niacinamide brightening toner. Um, I want to say that there are going to be times when people are going to be like, hey, layering doesn't matter. But honestly, how you put your products on and the layer you put your products on is definitely going to matter. The biggest reason is that for a lot of skincare products, the consistency, whether it's thin or thick, may not penetrate the skin if you're putting it on in the wrong layer. And that's one of the biggest things, right? If you're going to be spending money on products and skincare products for specific reasons, then you want them to actually get into the skin and do their thing. And if they're not doing that, then you're just wasting your money. Honestly, why put it on if it's not even getting onto the skin? So layering actually does matter. The other reason is that we have to understand that because of the type of ingredients some of these products uses, they require you to know when not to wear them, and that layer is really important. So if you are absolutely using your products in the wrong layer, then it's going to not work. You're wasting money, and the biggest part, you're going to be stuck with the problem. And then you're going to be bad mouthing the product saying, oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. Well, I always go back to how are you layering your products? So today, let's talk about how we layer, what's the right layering, why we do it that way, and while I'm going through my layering myself. So if you're just joining me, I'm Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and we're talking about how to layer your products, your skincare products, the right way for maximum results. Now, I started with my cleanser, and I'm using the CeraVe cleanser. And then this is one of my absolutely favorite, all-time favorite skincare products out right now. Not only because it's budget friendly, but it actually has the right ingredients to do what I needed to do. And so this is the Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. I love this because the niacinamide is at the right percentage, but because I'm a person of color, I struggle with hyperpigmentation, which is just really dark spots. And so it has in it alpha arbutin and licorice root, which have been researched and known to help with dark spots. So if you're a person of color, this is a great addition to your skincare routine. If you're not a person of color, this is also a great addition because the niacinamide helps with that, the redness. If you have oily skin, it helps with that. It also just helps with calming down the skin barrier. So all around, it's a really, really good product. All right. Hey girls, hello for joining me. Thank you so much. Maria says she loves this product to my feel the face. Yes, it does feel so fresh. I'm not getting paid or I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm just telling you guys, this product really works. And I have my 13-year-old daughter using it because lately she's been breaking out a little bit. I told her, I was like, hey, go ahead, start using this. And within the last 3 weeks, her face has literally been changing before our eyes. It really does work. And it's such a good budget friendly product. You can get this at Target, at Amazon, at Ulta, but try it. You'll thank me later on that one. Okay, so now going back to really the reason for today's live is that we're walking through the exact steps on how I layer my skincare for the best results. And so honestly, I definitely was a person that I used to think that you just throw on the skincare as long as it's in your face, it will work. Wrong. And I wasn't seeing results. I was hearing from everyone like, oh my God, use this for this, use this for this. And I just wasn't seeing any results until I really sat down and tried to figure out, okay, how do we layer? When do we put what and when? And why does that matter? And once I started understanding that, everything changed and the product started to really, really work. Okay, so the biggest thing, if you want to write this down, the cheat sheet here for today is you're going to go from thinnest to thickest when you're doing your layering. Thinnest to thickest, okay? Couple of pro tips here though. If you're putting on skincare and you start to see like this thing, what they call pilling, which is really like these little white balls that come up on your skin after you've put on something, then that is a sure sign that one, either you're layering your products incorrectly and wrong, or the ingredients in your products are not melding well together. Now, for me, especially with layering, that was a sure sign that I wasn't doing it right. And when you have things that's pilling, it's a sure sign that the product is not getting into the skin. And if it's not penetrating the skin, it's not working. If it's not working, you're wasting your money and you're still not solving the problem that you're trying to solve in using that skincare product. Let me know in the comments if you're a person that kind of follow a specific layering format when you do your skincare products, or you're just putting it on and you're going for it. All right, my next product that I put on was this hyaluronic acid Hydra Power Essence, and it's from CoreRx. Now, the only reason I using this one is because it's the winter time. And although I live in San Diego, my skin, because it's super dry, needs any little extra moisture magnets. And for me, hyaluronic acid is just like another moisture magnet, just pulls that moisture into the air, whatever little, and gives it back to me. And for me, that's what I need to do. Okay, so let's see. Girl to girl, you're so beautiful, and more importantly, you look kind and smart enough to achieve all your ambitions. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I do follow a format. I can do it in my sleep. Maria, that is amazing, because not having a format is exactly what ends up, people end up with trouble with the format. And as I said, we're going to go from skincare products that are penetrating, and the rule is thinnest to thickest, okay? And then actives, like your vitamin. When we talk vitamin C and any of those AAH and BHAs, those are your actives. Those need to be layered properly so they can work best. And so if you're definitely not doing those in the right order, you really are not going to get any of the results you need. All right, so let's talk about a morning layer routine that you should follow and make things easier for yourself. If you're someone though who's doing a very quick routine, meaning you have cleanser, moisturizer, and skincare, as long as it's in that order, you're good. Do not put, a lot of people ask me, when should I put moisturizer if I'm using sunscreen? I'm sorry, cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, yeah. A lot of people ask, when should I put sunscreen? Sunscreen is always last before makeup. That's the rule of thumb. Follow that. You cannot go wrong. Sunscreen in the morning before makeup. Okay. But if you're someone who's trying to get those serums and essence and toners in there because you're trying to address additional issues on the skin, then here's what you're doing. Remember, we're going to go from thinnest to thickest. Always start with your cleanser, right? The cleanser is something that you want to start with immediately. That makes sense. In the mornings, I don't always cleanse just because at night I do sometimes double cleanse or cleanse. And because I have really dry skin, it's really not necessary for me to do another cleanse in the morning. But if you're cleansing in the morning or in the evening, the cleanse is always going to go first. Then we're going to go into serums, toners, your toners or essence. So you saw me do a toner here, which was this Good Molecules. And then I did this essence, which was a hyaluronic acid. So those came right after the cleanser. And these are the thinner, the toner. As you can see, I'm going to just show it to you really quickly. It's very thin, very thin. So you want to make sure those are going on in the beginning so they can penetrate quickly. Here's another pro tip. And I've seen this a lot of times, and I was definitely guilty of this. Try to apply your skincare products when your skin is damp and not when it's dry. The reason because is that it allows the products to penetrate a little more effectively when you have damp skin. I don't know the science behind it, but that is where things work a little better. So I normally try to get my skincare routine even right out of the shower while I have some humidity in the air and there's some water in the air still. I try to do all my skincare routine at that time because it is honestly the best time for us to be able to get that skincare products in there and they penetrate more effectively. The same with when you're lotioning your skin, especially if you're a person who have very dry skin. Try to lotion your skin when it's damp versus when it's bone dry. And you will see a major, major difference in how effective the products work. Okay, so going back to the layering skincare, we have our cleanser, then we have toners and essence, okay? And so now I'm going to start layering on with my actives. It's the morning routine. So my active for the morning is my vitamin C. I do not use vitamin C in the evening. So if you want to check out what my thoughts are on vitamin C and if your vitamin C is trash or not, check out my YouTube live and my channel. And I did a full YouTube video on vitamin C in general. So this vitamin C, I cannot yet recommend because I'm just starting to use it. And this one I got from Japan. And so I don't have much information on it yet, but once I'm finished, doing this one, I'm going to definitely put out a video to see how I like it. So, but if in the comments you've used this before, go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are. So I've been using this now. This is the second week I'm going into using this religiously every morning. And so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I have no money to waste, so I follow the rule you give me to the T. I appreciate that, Maria. Thank you. And then Princess says, I use a cleanser, oil base, then a foam one, so you're double cleansing. I then use a rich toner as well as toner pads, then an ordinary serum, then a setting spray, then moisturizer. I love that for you, but I would say maybe move your setting spray and moisturizer the other way around, because your moisturizer is most likely thicker. And if you're doing a setting spray, which in general is supposed to be able to just keep whatever is on the face set, you may be having some penetration issues with your moisturizer and that it is not literally getting in and doing the hydration that it's supposed to do. But if it's been working for you for years, you love it, do you. But if you're also up to maybe checking out, testing something, maybe test it by changing around your moisturizer and then putting the setting spray. But then also your sunscreen, you remember we talk about this over and over, and you're going to just hear me say it over and over. Your sunscreen is the most important skincare ingredient that you can put on your face if you're doing any type of skincare routine. Okay, so going back into the vitamin C, so that's my active for the day, and I'm going to put that in there. Now, if you have time when you're doing your layering for skincare, if you have time, what you want to do is maybe give the ingredients in the different stages a couple of seconds to make sure that they get in there. If you have time, it's Sunday, I'm relaxing, chilling with you guys, so I have time to just chill, talk, give a couple minutes maybe, and then go into the second layer. Okay. All right. So this is going to be one of my actives. And then I'm going to today I'm going to add a serum in here as well. And this serum is the Soothing and Barrier Support Serum from The Ordinary. It's this pink, looks like Pepto-Bismol. Recently, well, 2 nights ago, I went a little ham on my retinol, not retinol, on my tretinoin, which is a retin A, and I have a little bit of sensitivities right here. So I'm just going to put this right on there to make sure that I am bulking up. For some reason, I keep every time I do this, I drop this thing on me. Okay. I don't use any type of cotton swabs or pads when I'm putting on my my skincare because I'm not trying to waste $1. So everything's going from bottle, jar, straight to face. No, we don't need a third man in here. So that's what I'm gonna do here, and we put that in there. Good old Gold Bond Retinol Lotion is where it's at. I'm on my here. You are dropping nuggets in here. That is so true. It is, ladies, if you want that smooth, I think I have the jar right now. If you guys are looking for some good lotion, I'm talking something that's going to smooth the skin, have you feeling like a baby's bottom. She is so right about that. That Gold Bond Retinol Lotion, girl, stars for you. Stars, stars, stars for you. Kimmy, I am not a dermatologist. Absolutely not. I am what we would consider a skin enthusiast. A few years ago, growing up, my skin was horrendous. And then a few years ago, I was diagnosed with this rare skin cancer that honestly also just attacked my face. And I went to 3 dermatologists and did not get good results from any of them. They not wanting to pour the knowledge into me. So I decided, like, listen, I'm gonna figure this out. And if you knew or saw pictures of me a few years ago and today, you would be like, holy you would have thought I went to a dermatologist. But no, I am not a dermatologist. I'm an attorney by trade. And I just went ham on reading and doing the research in a lot of the dermatology journals, listening to other skin enthusiasts, listening to other dermatologists, and just trying to figure this out. And I feel like I've cracked the code to the most part because the way my skin has definitely come up from the flames. You would be very proud of me, but I'm not a dermatologist. Yes, Maria, the Gold Bond is a definite, you can pick that up at anywhere, Walmart, Walgreens, any of the drugstores, and you would be very, very happy with that because it's really a good lotion. Okay, so I did the serums, and then your last step after that, not your last step, sorry, will then be your moisturizer. Okay, so remember we went from thinnest to thickest. In this video, if you've just joined, we're talking about the best way to layer your skincare to get the maximum results. And if you've been using skincare products and not seeing those results, might be just do a quick inventory check to make sure that you've been using them in the right layer, in the right order, so that they work the way they're supposed to. And the rule of thumb is always going to be from thinnest to thickest. And then also incorporating, make sure that you're using your actives when you should. One of the biggest things to do is try not to use like a vitamin C and a retinol together. That's why I use the vitamin C in the mornings and my retinol. In my case, I use tretinoin. at night, because those things can be very irritating and could really wreak havoc on your skin. Trust me, I did that once and I was like, oh, this is why they say be conscious of your skincare routine, but the layering. Because when I got into skincare, I just figured as long as the product is on my face, it will figure itself out. It didn't. It did not. And you may have good luck with it a couple of times until the day it doesn't. So don't test it. Try to make sure that you understand the layering, why you're putting on this product. And, sometimes if you want to use all of them, sometimes it's just best to use some in the morning and some in the evening. As long as it's getting in that day, it will be fine. Okay. Hello, hashtag cute items. Thanks for joining me. Okay. So last step before I go into my sunscreen, it's going to be my moisturizer. So my moisturizer that I'm using right now is actually Walgreens. It is a moisturizing facial cream, which is a dupe for the expensive Kiehl's Moisturizer Ultra Cream. And now the Kiehl's Ultra Cream is about $40. This is $12.99. A big difference for me. And let me see, it was also not a big difference when I used it. So I've been using this now for about a month. Guys, I've had the Kiehl's before. Back in the days when I thought that you needed expensive products to get the results you needed when it comes to the skin, I did purchase anything. If it was being sold in a drugstore, I was saying that's not for me. But I learned the errors in my ways, and now I would tell you, hands down, there are definitely some products out there that are less expensive that will do exactly or sometimes even better and give you better results than a very expensive product. And this one is definitely a good one. For someone who has dry skin, I will tell you this really does. I don't have to reapply any moisturizer throughout the day. It is a really good product, really good consistency. But as you can see, it's super thick. So you don't want to put this on, before I put on that very thin serum, my vitamin C and things like that. It just won't penetrate as well. So that's why I definitely, thinnest to thickest is the rule. And so when you look at your routine tomorrow, just make sure that, hey, if this is really thick, is it penetrating the way it should penetrate? Okay. And so that would be it until the last but absolutely most important rule, and that's our sunscreen. And so right now I am using the Naturium Dew Glow Moisturizer SPF 50. You can use this as a moisturizer as well and skip the other moisturizing step, especially if you have oily skin and you don't want to be glocking up too much. This thing is really good. Now, you also need to know it says dew. So if you're a person who likes that almost wet look, go off. This is it. If you don't, this is not it. Because you will see when I put this on, and I'm not going anywhere today. And I tell you, sunscreen is my anti-aging, right? Sunscreen and my retinol and my tretinoin, y'all, those are the two things I'm taking to the grave. I'm going to show up to the heavens with my skin. I don't know what he have up there, but those are what I'm taking. And the reason why, the research shows they work. Okay, so if you're using a lot of skincare products, I see a lot of people tell me all their routine, and then they have no sunscreen with it. And I tell them, listen, if you want those products that you're buying to really work, you really need to incorporate a sunscreen that you use 365 days of the year, including the winter, because those sun rays are coming through in the winter. Okay, and all of this is not to say, if you're not doing it, you can't start, because I didn't start doing this until I was in my 40s. I'm so annoyed with myself that not knowing about this before would have made such a big difference in my skin. But, sometimes it's better late than never, right? And so right now I am just trying to slow down the aging process with a budget-friendly skincare routine that doesn't take me years and days to see results. And that's what I would tell you. You will see results very quickly if you're using the right products, and then if you're using the right products in the right order. Let me know in the comments below what is your favorite sunscreen that you're using right now, so that, especially if I haven't seen it before, I have tons and tons of sunscreen. I will keep going through until I find the holy grail. Okay. Um, what's the sunscreen you're using? Maria, I'm using the Notorium Dew Glow Moisturizer. I'm gonna hold it up if you want to do a screenshot. And that is the best one. Okay. Thrifting Atlanta said Black Girl Sunscreen, which is actually right here. Love it. Love it. Not my favorite. Not my favorite, only because it has that sunscreen smell, but absolutely I will support and I will buy it and I will use it. And it does a great job in what I needed to do. Okay, so I think I've covered all of the AM layering. Evening layering looks exactly the same. You're going to start with cleanser, and then you're going to do a toner or an essence. Then you're going to do your actives. And so you're not going to do the vitamin C in the evening because you want to save that for your retinol and or your tretinoin. But maybe you're doing exfoliation that evening. So maybe you're doing your glycolic acid your glycolic acid, or you're doing one of the um, exfoliation, the chemical exfoliation, AH or BAH in the evening. And then we're going to go in with our moisturizer. I use a moisturizer with my tretinoin just because tretinoin can still can dry you out. So I make sure and I do what is another layer, my tretinoin, my moisturizer, then a tretinoin, then a moisturizer, just to protect my skin. It doesn't have to be for everyone like that. And then I may put a little bit of squalene oil on there just to kind of give another layer of sealing in the stuff like that. Now, if I'm not using the retinol that evening, then I will use my last layer would be Vaseline, just to give it that sealed look. Vaseline doesn't moisturize, but it's what we call an occlusive, and it will just kind of think about it like a saran wrap. It doesn't suffocate you. A little bit, a pea-sized amount, and I put it on there. And the next morning, I'm telling you, you're gonna wake up and feel like, oh my God, my skin feels like a baby's bottom. It's amazing. So that is the layering routine. It's the same process, thinnest to thickest. Okay. All right. So I hope that this information has given you the confidence to make sure to check your layering for your skincare. And of course, if you're doing just the 3 steps, skincare, moisturize, and sunscreen, no issues with that, but make sure they're in that order, because it's still an issue of layering. If you want the products to really work the way they should work, you want maximum results and you want them fast, then you're make sure you're layering them correctly to see all of those on there. Now, if you have any questions or if you want me to look over or just kind of give some advice on the skincare routine that you have, then go ahead and leave me an email or DM me. Leave me an email on my YouTube channel, thriftingdivas@gmail.com. You can send me an email and I will answer those questions. Really love talking skincare, but on this channel, we talk about other things like DIY, thrifting, fashion, home care. It's a luxe life on a budget. That's what this 2025 is, our luxe life vibe, our luxe life time, right? So that's what this channel is about. So if you are into any of those things, go ahead and hit like on this and then subscribe. I'm going live every morning for the next 23 days. So I'm on a 30-day challenge. So I hope you'll join me in the morning where I talk about various different skincare issues, or, we just talk skincare in the morning as I'm getting ready for work. So it's not a very long live, but it's enough to get you some good little bit of nuggets of information so you could keep coming back. All right. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the information. And as I always say, you will thank me later if you follow this stuff. Until next time, bye.